Hey folks, Chrysanthi here, Director of the Iakovos Retreat Center. It's good to see you again. It's been a little bit since we've been together, but I'm really happy you're with us today because we have a lot of work to do. It's that time of year again. What time of year is it that you ask? Why? Feast day, of course. Here at the Retreat Center, the chapel is named the Ζωοδόχος Πηγή, the life-giving spring. And the day of that feast is always celebrated on Bright Friday, so always the Friday following Pascha. We just celebrated Pascha this past Sunday. Christ is risen, which means now it's time to get these icons ready for the Divine Liturgy that we're going to have on Friday in honor of the life-giving spring. We're a little sad, of course, because barring the pandemic, we usually have all of our family and friends and invite the whole metropolis to celebrate liturgy with us and share a meal afterwards. But because of safety and health, we can't have hundreds of people here at one time, which means we're going to have just a small Divine Liturgy with a few people, but we will stream it virtually so that you can join with us and celebrate the feast day together. However, we got to get working on these icons because they're not going to decorate themselves. So let's get going. All right, so the first thing that we have to do is we have to put our bottom layers down to cover these frames. One funny note about the blue frame here, this blue frame is a Farmer Joe special. What that means is there's things all over the property that Joe has designed and built himself for a specific use or a special occasion. In this case, a couple years ago, he built us this frame. I'm pretty sure he used some leftover insulation that we had from a project, and he cut it and he attached it to the icon just so that we could place flowers on it every year. So thanks, Farmer Joe. Just so you know, you're still with us every time we celebrate. What we're going to do for our lower layers this year to cover the frames is we're going to take leather leaf. Leather leaf is one of my favorite flowers because it's just nice and full and it covers the frames beautifully. So we're going to take this and place it all the way around both frames of the icons, I should say. And then over the leather leaf, we're going to place baby's breath. And what that's going to do is that's just going to give us a nice, beautiful layer underneath where if there's any spots in between the flowers that you're able to see, you're going to see this combination underneath rather than the frames themselves. However, this is going to take us a while to do, so I really hope you enjoy the time-lapse video of our work together. All right, here we are. We've completed the bottom two layers of our icon. And so we've got the leather leaf here on the bottom covering the frame, and then we have the baby's breath going around them, which is going to be kind of the first decorative flower that'll pop underneath all the roses and everything that we're going to put on top. This stage in particular always brings me joy because usually decorating the icons is a group activity. So all the staff here at the Retreat Center will participate in it. What we do is we spend all day Thursday, the day before the feast, setting up and getting ready for all our friends and family to join us. And then Thursday night, we all stay over, and in this room here usually, we spend way too many hours hanging out with each other, laughing, and actually decorating the icons. And one of our former coworkers, whenever we got to this stage, so just the leather leaf and the baby's breath, used to always say, "Wait, this looks perfect. Let's just be done now." However, of course, we know for the Panagia, we have to go all out. And so we cannot simply just do 2 flowers. We must do many in order to make it really, truly beautiful for this special occasion. So, contrary to what I'm sure she'll say when she sees this video, we're going to keep decorating and we're going to keep going. What we're going to do now is we're going to actually head out on the grounds because it just stopped raining, and we're going to forage for some of those flowers that we're going to add to this icon. Then we'll come back, we'll get all our roses unwrapped, and we'll take a look and a tour through all the different flowers that we're going to add in all the different colors to finish adorning this icon for the feast day. So, let's get foraging. All right, so here we are. We're along the main road that drives into the retreat center. So the entrance is just that way and the buildings are just that way. And we're gonna forage all along this road here for this right here. This is called wild mustard. And I really love the yellow color, and I love kind of the ball shape and the way that it's gonna really add some depth to our icon. And so we'll use this on the bottom layer with our baby's breath, and then also as a filler flower at the end once we get the rest of our main flowers on. And while I was here and I was bending down to get this guy, I found this, and there's some more growing right along here, which this flower is called a wild violet. And the cool thing about this is actually a blue color in the plant world. And as we know, blue is the color of the Panagia. So I think that it's kind of awesome that this happened to just pop up in the last couple of days. So while we're here grabbing the wild mustard, we're also going to grab some wild violet. So we'll forage along this, and then we'll head to the next spot. All right, so here we are. We're actually in between the 2 cottages, right on the main camp. What we're here to grab is this. This is a lilac bush. And one of my favorite things about this bush is not only how it smells amazing and super sweet, but it's actually a fact that my papu taught me. When I was a young child, my papu taught me that with a lilac bush, what you can do is actually take the individual little flower off, make sure the end is gone, and then suckle on it, and there's a sweet nectar that comes out. In fact, that nectar is used to make simple syrups and a bunch of different things, but every time I see and especially smell a lilac bush, I think of my papu who passed away many years ago. So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna stop, we're gonna grab some of these, and then we'll add them to the very outermost layer of our icon, and it's really gonna give us some nice texture, as well as being a beautiful purple color to adorn our Panagia. All right, so here we are. We're on the east end of our property, right next to the road that runs in front of the retreat center. And what we're here to grab is this flower right here. This is called honeysuckle. And I just think the pink is gonna make a very nice color on the very most outer layer of our icon. And one thing that I actually love this year, last year when we did the foraging, because of the temperature and the weather and the rain and all this sort of stuff, we got an entirely different set of flowers. This year, with some of the heat we've had and all the sunshine, we're seeing all different flowers this year. So I think that's pretty cool. Let's grab this honeysuckle and then move on to our next spot. All right, so here we are. We're still on the east end of our property. We're actually just across the street where we grabbed the honeysuckle from. And we're in the ditch on the other side of the road. And what we're here to grab is this beautiful flower here. This is called Creeping Charlie. And not only is it blue, which we learned is the color of the Panagia, it's also pretty cool. It grows naturally, and as you can see in this whole area, it's just covering this area, and that's the reason that it's called creeping. It just grows naturally and wildly, actually, and pretty vibrantly. So we're gonna harvest this, and then we're gonna take everything else that we foraged and head back and start decorating our icon. So here we are. We've done all of the foresting and gathering that we needed to, and we're ready to continue decorating and finishing our icons. Let's go over everything that we have in terms of what we gathered and what we bought and how we're going to use it in order to finish adorning these beautiful icons. First, what we're going to start with, and coincidentally what we're going to end with, is this wild mustard. This wild mustard is going to go next to the baby's breath to just add some color around the edge, and then additionally, because of the sphere shape to it, at the end, when we're done putting all of the flowers on the icon, if there's any holes that we have to fill and any voids, this flower is going to be the very perfect thing to do that. So we're going to start and end with our wild mustard. The next layer that we're going to add to our icon is going to be these mums. Now these mums are a beautiful color. They're like a burnt orange and a burnt yellow, which is amazing. And the nice thing about them is that they're very flat in shape, but very wide. And so in terms of a first layer, because you build icons in terms of decorating in layers, these are gonna go great right on top of the baby's foot. The next thing that we're gonna do to really add the depth that we need to the icon is we're going to add these roses. Now, these roses are a beautiful color. They're gonna match well with the mums, but you may be asking yourself, how come not everything is blue for the Panagia? Now, We know blue is the color of the Panagia. It's what's used liturgically in the church. But in addition to that, the Panagia is also a mother. She's a lady. And so we're going to use everything that reminds us of that in terms of how we decorate this icon and we prepare for this feast day. So along with the blue that we're able to harvest from the Creeping Charlie and the Wild Violet, we're going to use these really vibrant colors. The thing that I love about these roses that we were able to pick is that they're similar in color. And so they're almost 1 but 3, just like the Trinity. And so as we decorate the icon, we're going to reflect the God in which we are doing it for through our decorating. After the roses and after the mums, we're pretty much done with our decorative flowers. And then we just have to put our finishing flowers on top. Our finishing flowers are going to be the things that we harvested from the retreat center itself. And so that's going to be this beautiful pink honeysuckle that we found, along with the wood and the stick that it comes on, as well as these awesome purple and violet lilacs, which, of course, as you learned, was my papu's favorite flower, which he taught me about. And then finally, the Creeping Charlie and the wild violets. One thing I want to point out about the wild violets that I didn't mention earlier is that it's completely edible. I didn't know that. Kara taught me that just today when she saw me harvesting it and asked me if I was going for a snack. And I said, no, I'm actually going for flowers to decorate the icon. And then she taught me that. So as we do the next decorating process, I'm going to not only have a snack and hope you enjoy it with me, but also really enjoy working towards our finished product. The final thing that I want to point out before we get started is that all of these flowers especially come on very long stems. And you may be asking yourself, how do you affix a long stem flower to a frame that's only 4 or 5 inches in depth? And to that, my friends, I want to teach you about the floral trick of toothpicks. So you cut the stem off, you affix a toothpick to the bottom of it, and then what that allows you to do is actually to not only choose the depth so that you can get the layering effect, but also the position in which you want the flower to appear. So whether you want it to hang up or down or sideways or anything like that. And so we're going to really be able to choose how we want this icon to appear as we start to place these flowers along it to adorn it and get ready for our feast day. So let's get decorated. Here we are, we're in the Ζωοδόχος Πηγή chapel. Our icons are adorned, hung, and ready for feast day. Thank you so much for your help and for working with us today. definitely miss having you. Look forward to the day when we can all be together again. Please remember the St. Iakovos Retreat Center in your prayers, as we will remember you in ours. In the meantime, still stay safe, stay healthy, stay 6 feet apart, and don't forget to have fun.